Welcome everyone, another episode of the 40AFLOW podcast. Thank you for tuning in and showing support. We had a real special guest on today, Xavier Rathan Mayes, professional basketball player. Talked about a lot of good stuff. It was a great interview. If you like the podcast, share, like it, subscribe, whatever it is, just show some love. Appreciate all of you. Enjoy. Thank you for being here, brother.
No problem.
I appreciate you taking the time.
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to jump right into it. So a moment I really wanted to talk about was a moment when you were at Florida State. You guys were down 18 on the road, 4.5 minutes left.
Yeah.
And you scored 30 in the last 4.5 minutes. Is there like an explanation or a description of that state that you were in? Like, what was that like?
Man, I don't know if there's an explanation for it. I think it was just kind of just like a super zone that I was in. It was an unbelievable feeling.
Right.
Being in a zone like that, I felt like I was in an arena by myself. Everything was like super quiet, just no noise. It was definitely a special moment, and you don't really realize what you're going through or what's really happening until after the game. And I remember after the game walking back to the locker room and a couple of the security guards being like, that kid just scored 30 points in the last 4 minutes, and it kind of just hit me like, that's crazy.
You didn't even know.
It was a later game in the night, so I really started getting a big buzz as I got back to the bus, and then the next day. But the zone I was in was unbelievable. Just felt like everything was, any shot you shot was good. It just felt like you're kind of shooting into an ocean. So it was definitely a special moment.
Have you ever been in a zone like that before? Or was that the one and only? Before or after that moment?
I've been in a couple of zones that have been like really, really good. But I don't know if one like that.
Yeah.
Wednesday might have been one of those zones. This past Wednesday was one of those zones. I get there and there's nothing that can take me away from that.
Right.
I do get in those zones, but I don't know if there was anything like that one.
That magnitude.
Yeah.
Because we've seen Clay do that in that quarter.
Yeah.
LeBron did it.
Yeah.
Dude, that was like 15 years ago. But
yeah, no, it's crazy. You see the Clay one, he had 37 in the quarter.
That was in
right?
a whole quarter.
Yeah.
You did yours in 4
exactly.
minutes.
So
bro.
like it was, if you kind of compare it, it was just like crazy. So he did 37 in 12 minutes, and mine was like 4.5.
Yeah.
If you as someone who was doing like the pace for a game, it was a crazy number.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Now, do you think there's how do you get to that zone? Is it random? Can you do something to get to that mind state, or what is it?
No, I don't think it's something you can do. It's just something that kind of happens within the flow of the game. It's crazy. I was watching a game last night, and I don't know if you seen it. Melo was talking about just getting in zones and being a rhythm guy.
Yeah.
And he went off for I think 15 straight in the fourth quarter last night. And it's just a rhythm you get into. You touch the ball a couple times. If a couple shots go down, you feel good about it. And you just get into a rhythm where everything is just kind of clicking, and everything that you've worked on over the years just is in a constant flow. So I don't know if it's something that you kind of per se can put yourself into. I think it just happens during the course of the game. Yeah.
I said you played at Florida State. Why'd you choose them?
Florida State. My dad played there.
Okay.
Wanted to kind of follow my dad's footsteps and
Awesome.
do that, and I thought that was pretty special for our family.
Do you have a best moment you had when you were there?
My best moment probably was when I scored my 1,000th point at Florida State, and my dad was in the stands. And that night we became the first father-son duo ever in ACC history to both have 1,000 points at the same score. So
that's special.
In all the ACC, so that was really cool.
That's cool. Now, something a lot of people obviously don't get to see up close, but I'm able to, is your work ethic.
Yeah.
You're a workhorse.
Yeah.
You're in the gym all day. I know you're doing everything that you can to just improve,
Yeah.
whether it's your body, your athleticism, your
Right.
finishing, your shooting. Where'd you get that from? Who'd you learn from?
My dad, I think that was definitely instilled from my dad, the work ethic. My mom was on me about work ethic too. But when it came to like on court and my body and stuff, my dad was always on top of me for that. Always making sure I was working my butt off. If in the summers, I remember if I wanted to go sleep at a friend's house, she would say, "Yeah, you can go sleep at a friend's house, but you better be back on the driveway by 6 a.m. because we start work."
Nice.
So that's kind of been instilled in me from really young, and it's just continued over the course of the years.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, from that hard work, you're a very confident person on court, off court. Do you get that confidence from the work you're putting in, or is that like a natural thing, or did you have to work on that?
Yeah, no, I think it comes from my work. It comes from the countless hours of repetition and doing something over and over and over again. And it definitely comes from the work, but it definitely comes from the environment that I grew up in Scarborough, and where I was born at the YMCA and playing there. And you had to have a confidence, had to have a swagger about you that you're a certain type of player, or guys wouldn't let you play,
Right.
and you kind of get picked on and stuff like that. So
Did you learn that from an early age?
learn that from an early age, man.
You picked that up?
Yeah, so going to my Y, I learned that I had to be confident about everything that I did. I started from then, like just walking like with a swagger about me that
Right.
not only do I put in the work, but I'm able to put that work on full display when I step out onto the floor.
Nice. Through this process of like being in the league and then like being out and trying to get back, and ups and downs, like you're constantly playing in this league. Like, what's been like the main thing that you feel like you needed to learn, or like that you have learned?
Biggest thing is just how to be a true pro, and I've had the ability to be around some really great guys. I've had the ability to have some really great mentors, and Katina Mobley and Keith Bogans and Jarrett Jack and those guys who have really helped me and guided me along my journey. And I think the biggest thing is just how to be a great pro, doing it the right way, making sure you constantly keep up with your work, constantly stay humble and hungry in everything that you're doing. And that's something that I'm able to take with me no matter where I go.
Right. Now, we know you can get a bucket. We know you can pass. We know you have great IQ. What are you bringing to a team or an organization that's like above and beyond? Like, why should someone pick you, like an organization?
I think my ability to run a team,
Mm-hmm.
to get guys involved,
Right.
and my ability to just kind of be kind of like a chameleon in a sense, in
Right.
being able to blend into an environment. Obviously, I know, God willing, signing a contract in the NBA, I'm not going to go in and be the number one guy right away.
Yeah.
So being a chameleon and being able to blend in, being able to pick my spots, being able to be efficient out of certain actions, and stuff like that. So just being able to go in somewhere, being able to lead a team from the point guard perspective, being able to get guys involved and play off the ball and make open shots and guard, defend at a high level. So I think those are some things that I am able to bring to an organization.
That's awesome. Do you have any like passions or anything off the court? I know you're always working, like I said, but what do you enjoy doing with your free time?
My free time, golf. Golf is huge. Golf is huge for me.
I learned that the hard way.
Oh man, golf is definitely huge. It's something that I've played for a while. Something that I really enjoy, getting out onto the course and just being with my guys and my family and just enjoying that time.
It's like a little getaway for you.
Yeah, it's just a getaway from everything. It's very relaxing. Obviously, great be able to be out there in great weather and stuff. And actually, the last few months, something that I've picked up that I've started to enjoy that came from my lady is going out to different restaurants and just experimenting with different foods and just being a foodie. That's something that I wasn't huge on before, but being around her is something that she's kind of implemented and something that we both enjoy doing together. So that's really cool as well.
What's a good restaurant you've been to?
Oh.
Top 3, top 2.
In New York, we went to an Italian place, Patsy's.
Okay.
It was absolutely amazing. We enjoyed it. Just a great environment, great food.
Yeah.
Another one probably like Philippe Chow in New York. So pretty cool places.
Right on. What are you most excited about getting back to the league?
Being able to show off like a transformed X. It's actually crazy. We were just talking about this the other night. I was talking with my my shooting coach, like my mentor and kind of like another father figure to me. We started a journey of completely changing my jump shot 3 years ago. And that journey was one of the toughest things that I've had to do.
Yeah.
You know, you go through a ton of ups and downs. You go through times where you're frustrated, where you're upset. You go through times where you don't even believe that, like, this is the complete right thing at points. But we stuck with it. We never let go of the vision that we had.
Yeah.
And now when you see me shoot the ball and when you see like the way I'm able to shoot the ball right now, that's something that I'm ready to show off to the world, because you see, you know, the greatest shooters in the world, and Steph and Dame and those guys and Trae Young, and being able to shoot the ball from distance the way they do. And I always used to be like, why are you shooting from so far?
Yeah.
Like, what is the purpose behind shooting from so far? And now that I'm able to do that, it's
just a whole nother level of being
exactly.
a threat, right?
I understand why, because like you virtually become almost unguardable. Like, guys have to pick you up
right on
at half court or like a little bit before half court. And now that you're fast enough and strong enough to get by guys, it puts defenses in a limbo now in the NBA. Bigs sitting deep drops. Bigs have to come up.
Yeah.
You have to blitz ball screens, which allows you to play 4-on-3 on the backside. So that is something that I'm like really, really excited about.
Yeah.
And being able to go and just show the level that I shoot the ball at, because, you know, there's the Stephs, the Dames, Seth Curry, you know, those guys that shoot it at an extremely high level. And you see, like, the game is basically like, it's like the world is their oyster. They're allowed to do whatever they want. They free flowing, you know. So that is what I'm most excited about, showing off the work that we put into this, and understanding that journey took 3 years for me to be able to shoot the ball at the level that I shoot it at now.
So you're in a really good place, like mentally. Man, I'm in
I'm in an amazing place mentally, physically. And I think that's the biggest thing this off season was getting my mental right, and getting to a place of just peace.
What are some things that you've done to help that? And were you struggling before, or? Yeah,
I was struggling a little bit before. Just battles with myself.
Okay.
But I think the biggest tribute to my mental has been honestly having an amazing woman in my life, to tell you the truth. You know, somebody who's able to put life into perspective.
Right.
Somebody who she is a pro, and she is the best in her world at what she does. And being able
What does wifey do?
I don't know if she want me to tell him, but she is. But she's a investment banker.
Okay.
She and doing really great things for herself, and definitely special at what she does. But, you know, just having somebody around that is able to put things into perspective, is able to push me when I need to be pushed. And, like, you know, people have been around me and they see that I work so hard, and it's like, do we really need to push X? But there's times where you know, I'm at home, and there's times where I've broken down, and she's able to just lift me up.
Right.
And make sure that everything around me has been stable and set, so that I can just focus on
That's big time.
my goal and my dream. So I think that's been the biggest changed in my life is having a woman that, you know, is able to bring out the ultimate best in me. So
have you had moments where you've doubted maybe yourself, or like if this is your journey or your path that you're supposed to be on?
Yeah, there's always you know, times where that doubt creeps in a little bit, especially going through this process right now. Like,
Right.
I've had a ton of options to be able to go different places, but that's not the dream, you know. And my dream is to be in the NBA. My dream is to be one of the best in the NBA, and nothing is gonna stop that. Okay. And my dream is her dream. So like, whenever there's other options, she's always like, that's not the option, that's not the goal, that's not the focus, this is where we are and this is what we're gonna do. And just having that like confidence put into me and my mental and stuff like that has been really,
that's really cool, knowing that you can do it and truly sticking with it, because there's other good offers out there, I'm sure, overseas that you can go take and run away, but
exactly,
the NBA is a dream. That's cool.
Yeah.
We talked about this a little bit the other day, but like dipping into other players' bags.
Yep.
Do you mirror your game after anyone, or do you kind of just want to be your own version, or how do you go about that?
So there's a few players that I watch, and I love the way they play. Dame, CJ. I've honestly tried to take a whole bunch from both of what they do. Yeah. Huge fan of Darren Williams. And I literally just, you know, every 2-3 weeks I pick a different player, and I like to study what they do, and I try and just incorporate little things from their game and try and put it into mine. The latest person has been Brandon Roy, one of the greatest that, you know, we weren't able to see because of unfortunate injuries that he had, but he was special, man. He was a special player. The pace he played at, the moves that he had, his ability to finish, his ability to shoot the ball was absolutely incredible. So that's somebody that I've kind of just been watching and trying to just steal a whole bunch of moves and steal a whole bunch of his stuff. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you have a trainer growing up, or I mean, I know your dad helped you.
Yeah, my dad was basically my trainer.
Awesome.
And you know, I've gotten I've had the opportunity to work with some really great people. Yeah. But like, in the sense of, you know, complete game, like it would be Vlad, you know, from Toronto, my shooting coach. Yeah. And just like the work that we've put in, and obviously I've worked with Dash. Yeah. He's really good as well. And then I've been with J-Law since he's almost like opened A6 and, you know, been in that facility. So J-Law and I have had a unique and special relationship. Yeah. And we've had the ability to, you know, really put in some work. Yeah. In the last few months, and that's been a special relationship as well.
As a high-level player, what makes a good trainer to you? Because a lot of the times the player is obviously better than the trainer, but you're still learning from them. Right. Excuse me, but what makes that? I
think details. Yeah. The small details, and a trainer understanding that you don't always need to. With high-level guys, you don't always need to like be incorporating, you know, a whole bunch of different moves, a whole bunch of like, it's being specific in one area. Yeah. And for me, that area the last off season has been shooting the ball. Yeah. Shooting the ball at a consistent high level, shooting the ball with range, and shooting the ball with range off the dribble. And that's something that J-Law and I have had the ability to do in these last few months. And every time we work out, every, you know, segment that we go through, everything is charted. Threes, mid-range, free throws. Yeah. And our goal is 50, 40, 90, and becoming a 180 shooter. And I think that has been the most unique part, is being able to just focus on one area. Yeah. And you leave another area for something else, for another time. And then you become a specialist in one area, and then you can start incorporating everything else.
Clearly, you're focused on your dream, your vision of making it back to the league.
Yeah.
But have you thought ever of after basketball, like what do you want to do? What do you like? What are you passionate about?
Yeah. It literally ties back to my lady.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always kind of just had some things that I wanted to go off into after basketball, but having somebody who is in banking and investing and being an entrepreneur and those sides of things, she's kind of opened up my mind to everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I think one of the big things that I've always talked about is being able to open my own facility, own basketball academy, and teach kids in that way. I think that would be really cool. I think the one thing that is missing in our like skills training world is that it's actually crazy that nobody has actually done. Is one of like a former NBA player has been there, done that, and having his own academy. I know obviously there was the Mamba Academy. But Kobe wasn't around as much, but like just having an academy that where players can learn from somebody who's been there and done that, and kids can look up to and be like, when they receive information, they're receiving information knowing that this is somebody who's been on the level that I'm trying to get to, and I think that is another level of training and understanding that I can look up to somebody, I can train with somebody that has been there, has done that. So I think that would be something that is really cool for me to do. I also have gotten into clothing, and we're starting our own brand, which could be pretty cool here soon. And just doing things like that and being able to bring a facility and those resources back to my hometown in Scarborough and those things I think would be pretty cool.
Do you feel as if you have a specific purpose?
I do, and it's actually amazing because you're able to put out a lot of content onto social media, and the feedback that you get from the youth and the kids coming up behind you, and being an inspiration to them, and them always saying you're an inspiration, thank you for this, thank you for that. It's like that is my calling, to be an example for the kids coming up behind me, to be an example that no matter what happens, no matter if things don't go your way right then and there, to keep working at it, and it will happen for you over time. And I think that is something that I've been put on this earth to do, and being a vessel through God to be able to touch other kids' lives, to be an inspiration, to be a role model to kids coming up behind me.
That's awesome. Do you practice prayer, meditation, anything like that?
I pray every morning when I get up. I pray every day before I get onto the court.
Nice.
And I pray every day at night. It's just something that is embedded in me, something that's a part of me. My faith is huge to myself and my family. Nice. And something that has helped with my mental and helped, just put me at peace in life. Yeah,
that's awesome. World's going through all these crazy times. Just to cap it off, what does the world need more of?
Ooh, that's a good question. What does the world need more of? I think genuine souls, genuine hearts that are just willing to help one another. If we're able to, lend a helping hand to somebody who's in need, or somebody that needs something that we per se have and they don't have, I think that's what we need more of. Is just that genuine human connection, kindness, kindness, that love, and that affection between one another. And I think that if we're able to just help one person, and that person helps somebody else, and that person helps somebody else, it causes it's like a chain reaction. And that's something that I think we all need to work work towards and all need to become better at. It's like myself, and you know, I need to become better in certain areas. And that's something that I've been working at every day, is just being able to be an impact, be an inspiration, be the helping hand, being that smile, or giving somebody a smile that they need, exactly that light that they need. Because you never know by the simplest gesture how much that can help somebody 100%. In their life. And I think
talked
that's
about that
really
in my
special.
last episode.
Yeah.
But
sure.
No, X, I really appreciate you
doubt.
taking the time for this. I thought it was cool.
For sure. Appreciate you, Matthew.
All right, brother.
Yes, sir, bro.